All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. It's been a while since I've covered the EV sector. I'm going to try to cover three stocks on this one: Mullen, Polestar, and Lucid. Look, I'm not here to bash stocks, you know that. I think I want to use this more as like a learning lesson for what all-time lows can really do. Okay, so I promise I'm not going to talk a lot of shit about stocks that are doing really bad. I know there are so many passionate people that have a decent amount of money in these stocks, and look, it's a new little catchphrase I'm working on, but passion doesn't pay the rent. Passion does not put food on the table, and like the last thing you want to do is watch a stock go from 40 to 15 and be nothing but like passionate and firm that this is a great stock and just keep averaging down. And like, man, it's a deadly cycle. It is. And I'll tell you, I've been in this before. Like, I didn't wake up and do this technical analysis stuff all day, right? Like, I was someone that used to love a stock and like average down, and this 40 to 15, it really would have been avoidable. And that's what I'm going to talk about more. And then again, once this 20 cent was lost, there was no reason to eat that, like, man, yeah, 20%, 25% loss right there, right? So, geez. Again, all that said, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly. That's how things are setting up. We have our five moving averages. These horizontal support and resistance lines I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like and subscribe, it does really well with the YouTube algorithms. But even if you don't, just thank you so much for listening to this. Again, I'm not trying to be a hater, I swear, okay? And then, hey, if you disagree with anything I got to say, please throw it in the comments, all right? I'm for sure not perfect. I'm for sure not all-knowing. And yeah, your opinions might end up being a lot better than mine. So share them with the group and myself, please. So look, let's get into it, right? The last time I sincerely was covering this stock was when we were talking about breaking this 100, getting near this 40 cent line, and again, what really looked like a nasty little downtrend of red that would have brought us into this near dollar range, if not over, right? All that really went away very, very quickly. And look, all we've done is trade under the 8 moving average. I say it so many times. Nothing good for any stock, nothing good happens under the 8 moving average. It's such a hard line to get over when it becomes your worst enemy. From there, when you have the 20 going down as well, I mean, look at this thing. These two lines go down together really hard, really hard. You know what I mean? And it's a bad place to be for sure. From there, I'm just going to come to the weekly. This 20 cent line, you can see it, right? There's no past history. Right here, this is the last green candle section, right? So this 20 cent line was that all-time low line that I kept kind of ringing the bell on. And if you watch my past videos, look, I never put a number to all-time lows, but in the back of my head, once you fall into all-time lows, there's actually zero surprise you're going to lose 20%. I sincerely believe that's like the first threshold before you start asking, is all-time lows going to get even worse? And then you start losing like 40 and then 6. You know what I mean? Like, all-time low is a scary place. It's this black hole vortex that for real, you need the hand of God to come down and grab the stock, because there are no other supports other than miracles that save it. You know what I mean? And look, I'm not being mean. I promise you, if we were looking at any other stock, I'd be saying the exact same thing. But once this 20 cent line was lost, there was zero surprise in my head that we're sitting at 15 today. And look, we've actually gone as low as 13. You know what I mean? And again, I say this so many times. You'll hear me say it a lot. I know. Let's even just talk from right here. I know someone was like, man, Mullen at $6, that's a deal. I know someone right here was like, Mullen at $3, that's a deal. I know someone was like, man, Mullen at $1, this is the last, oh my God, this is a deal. I know someone at 40 kept saying this was a deal. Like, don't average down. I never will tell you what to do with your money, but man, if there's one thing I do try to say, averaging down hurts. like, I love my parents, all right? Like, they didn't give me an infinite amount of money. I can't just keep throwing good money at something like eventually, like, I'm not going to be able to eat well. You know what I mean? So, um, all that said, look, there's no real technical analysis here. We are in all-time lows. We're well below the 8 moving average. We're nowhere near breaking the 20. Incredibly bad volume with nothing selling. Going even further, I mean, basically through February, there's only a sprinkle of green, right? MACD definitely looks like it wants to go low, but truth be told, it's not even that low and negative. And look, RSI, we have seen stocks, not this one necessarily. As I zoom out, it doesn't really, maybe right here. Yeah, that's a 7 RSI. I was literally going to say we have seen single digit RSIs, and this thing was at 7 not that long ago. So there's a lot of room to go down between 20 and 7. Again, I'm not here to hate, and I'm not going to repeat the exact same words for the next one, but there is only so much you should like be passionate about. Stocks are not one of them. I'm telling you. And I'm telling you as someone that has lost bad money being a passionate trader. I promise you, I've done the exact same thing. Look, Polestar, almost the exact same story as Mullen. 100 moving average kind of looked like it wanted to break it. It like literally was one line away from what could have been a nice fat movement from again what could have been a nasty move to 10, right? And again, this is a stock that I used to look at a lot, so like these are old, like I haven't really talked about any other lines but this, but yeah, we were really close to breaking this and making a nice movement. But then what happens? All we end up doing is trading under the 8 moving average. Yeah, a little bit of a moment here, but there's so much bad. I'm not less about the technicals, more about just look how avoidable this all could have been, right? Where are we? We are in all-time lows. Again, once we lost 418, I'm surprised we're actually not lower if you really want to know the truth. You know what I mean? I know this looks really bad. And look, volume is now really picking up. MACD looks like it's now getting really ugly, right? I'm telling you, I know the RSI is sub 30, but it wasn't that long ago we had an RSI at 12, right? There's still a lot of room between roughly 30 and 12, right? So just be careful is all I'm saying, okay? It's funny because this is actually doing the best, I would say. Is it doing well? No, but look, this Saudi Arabia spike, I really believe is what's keeping this one up. Because again, if Saudi money was to really move on this, for sure it'll actually do another little silly spike. But I think that's the line, right? Is it not? It is. Again, we are now sitting under this line and we're now only one line away from all-time lows. And you can see it's not even like a strong weekly all-time low line, right? It's actually literally the last one on the daily. It's this guy right here, right? So I don't even actually think that this 614 line is very strong. Maybe one of these ones because it looked like, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, 660 roughly is the last like weekly line, right? But yeah, I think it'll very quickly go from 740 to that 660, and then yeah, if 660 is lost, I don't see much happening with this. I'm gonna keep this. I'm not gonna move it up because again, it is the daily number. But look, all-time lows is not where you want your money. The Nasdaq is definitely looking shaky. I know that looked like Monday kind of had this like nice recovery, right? But some banks have failed. Like, you know, that's no joke, right? So just be careful. And again, passion doesn't pay the rent. Remember that, all right? Your money is sacred, and don't just throw it into something that does nothing but go down, right? And I promise you, I'm not just picking on these three. I would say it about the same, but yeah, it's been a while since I've covered EV, so I at least wanted to touch these. So, hey, if you disagree with anything I got to say, please throw it in the comments one more time. I'm not trying to bash on these, you know what I mean? But be careful, and I'm telling you, all-time lows is bad. And it only gets worse, all right? So be careful. I appreciate your time so much.